Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Marvel Plus podcast, the show where we talk the Marvel shows on Disney Plus and how they connect to the MCU. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live most Sundays, every Sunday, at 7 p.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011, as long as the series is going on. You can join in the chat over there if you're a subscriber. We'd love to have you in on all the crazy theory talk, etc. But if you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. It's put on YouTube the very next day at 12 noon Eastern, so you can check it out over there. And let me know what you thought in the comments section down below. Today, we are talking the What If season finale, episode 9, What If the Watcher Broke His Oath. So we are coming off of the dramatic last episode of Ultron taking over. He has the Infinity Stones, we saw those, taking over essentially the Watcher's role after he had cleansed his world and his universe of their problems, and now he is still following his directive of, purifying everything. So he has learned about the multiverse from Watcher, taken his area, his zone, and is now wreaking havoc across the land, as we saw even in episode 7 with our friend Thor partying on his universe. So we're going to open back up with our good old friend Captain Carter from episode 1. Remember her? And it's essentially the opening of the Captain America Winter Soldier movie. It's going to be her and Black Widow from that universe going to the ship to intercept whatever is being taken by the Leaper and his goons there. So we're going to see that all play out as Carter is going to fight the Leaper and attempt to stop him. When she notices the Watcher is in the background. Watcher will arrive and mentions that she is chosen. She's been recruited. And then from there, we're going to proceed to see the rest of our recruits for this journey of this episode. We will see a follow-up from Star-Lord T'Challa's universe as Ego is attacking the Dairy Queen there, and Peter's in trouble. T'Challa has shown up to help. He will be recruited. We see a new universe. We're going to see the Infinity Gauntlet getting melted down by our dwarven friend from Infinity War, Peter Dinklage's character. I'm blanking on the character's name. But we're going to see the Infinity Gauntlet itself being melted down, and we're going to see Tony in a big Ironmonger suit. And we're also going to see Gamora in kind of like a Thanos-esque garb, or at least armor set. And she's been the survivor of Sakaar, and she apparently defeated Thanos. So, Gamora is going to be recruited. Tony is not. Weird choice, but alright. Then we're going to follow up with the Killmonger universe, being in charge of Wakanda. We're going to see Pepper, along with Shuri, making a charge at the throne room. Killmonger is going to be chosen from there. And last but not least, we're going to once again follow up with our friend Thor fighting the Ultron drones, and he's defending Las Vegas, and we'll pick him up to be one of our final recruits. So they're all gathered together in like this space pub with our friend Doctor Strange, evil Doctor Strange, but corrupted Doctor Strange, maybe that's a better term, with Doctor Strange. And him and Watcher are going to kind of explain the situation that's going down. Obviously, all the Ultron stuff, how he's going to essentially wipe out anything and everything in his path. As they're explaining this, Killmonger has picked up an Ultron drone head and seems very intrigued by it. He's kind of studying it. Watcher's going to try and reveal the plan for what they're going to try to do. To save the universe, and then gives the team their moniker of the Guardians of the Multiverse. Alrighty, fitting. So we're moving on. So the basics of the plan is they're going to separate Ultron's body from the stones. Alright, seems easy enough in theory, but obviously in practice may not be as simple. Once the stones are separated, the Infinity Crusher from Gamora's universe is going to be used to destroy the stones afterwards, so he does not have his power source. So the easiest way they're going to try and tackle this is at least getting the Soul Stone to Gamora. That's how they're going to start and kick this off. So now they're being teleported to a different planet, different universe, with the plan in play. They know what they need to do. And we kind of get a little bit of a powwow between the team of the different universes to kind of get to know each other a little bit. Strange is kind of struggling to keep his form. We can still see that he's transforming into all these beasts that he absorbed the powers from in earlier episodes. But yeah, they're sharing their stories, and still Killmonger is studying this Ultron head, really engaged with it and trying to see what makes it tick. So at the moment, we're all good. We're just kind of waiting it out because there's no life source, I think they said, on this planet. But eventually Ultron will make his appearance and make his arrival. Doctor Strange is going to provide everyone with an astral shield or astral armor that is going to protect them. Says it won't last forever, but it does its handiwork. Thor is going to attempt to take them out, or take Ultron out in one swift blow. Kind of gets ahead of himself, as we've seen him do, and will attempt a big lightning strike to Ultron, but leads to no success, and we have the battle then commence. So, a lot of action here. We see Mjolnir get into play. Doctor Strange is going to multiply it and make it so that many hammers are attacking Ultron, and T'Challa is going to attempt to steal the Soul Stone. He is successful with the sticky fingers thing, ploy that we saw once again in his episode, and they're going to take that and deliver it to Gamora. As they're making the escape with the Soul Stone, Doctor Strange is going to pull another trick out of his hat, and he's going to pull in the zombie universe to make the save. So he's going to pour in a bunch of zombies on Ultron to kind of buy them a little bit of a time, including Scarlet Witch in her zombie form. So it's going to buy us a little bit of a time. As we're doing that, our heroes are going to travel through a portal, which we saw Killmonger and Gamora travel through earlier to kind of prep the Crusher. We're going to meet up with them, and we're going to deliver the Soul Stone. Great. We're doing the pass off of the Soul Stone for the Infinity Crusher, and unfortunately, Black Widow from Ultron's universe in the previous episode is going to intercept the handoff of the stone, because she, doesn't know the situation. She wasn't picked for the team. With this happening, Carter is going to make the play at peace here. And she's able to do that by obviously establishing the relationship she had with her Black Widow in her own universe to the Natasha in this universe, obviously sharing personal information, stuff like that. So the trust is there, because how else is she going to know why or how to trust Captain Carter? So she knows now. All right, so we get that transfer. Yippee. Soul Stone is in our possession. Ultron is able to follow them and keep after his chase. So now we're all fighting over the Soul Stone. So we're fighting over that. Ultron, during this fight, is going to attempt to essentially blow up the planet. He is successful for a moment until Doctor Strange absorbs all of that explosion and eats it, consumes it, similar to the beasts that we saw in his episode. Ultron notices, oh, you're the problem here. If I take you out, the rest of this operation is going to fail. So now Doctor Strange has that target on his back. In this whole commencing of battle, we're going to see some double shield action as Black Widow from the Ultron universe and Captain Carter are using their shields to beat up Ultron a little bit. Some cool action there. As this is going on, we're fighting. Gamora's going to come into play, attempting to, be offensive, and she's going to strike the Time Stone on Ultron's armor, which is going to trigger a whole time slow field. He is able to obviously go through this because he's in control of the time, and he's able to regain the Soul Stone from there. However, we get a last-minute save from Doctor Strange, because in his universe, he still has the Eye of Agamotto, which, as we know, is the Time Stone as well. So he's unaffected by this time warping ability. He's still struggling to keep his form, though, and we're going to see that as he's going to make this big play and shoots essentially tentacle monster galore at Ultron to keep him at bay. Gamora finally has the Soul Stone again. All right, we're going to crush it up. Ultron is trapped. Now's the time to do it if we're going to do it. The Crusher has been taken. It has taken the Soul Stone. We threw that in there. And now we're also going to shove the Crusher onto Ultron. So we're now grinding away at Ultron to try and destroy the stones, obviously, in his armor set. The Crusher's going to explode. Shit. All right, great. Big explosion. It's not over yet. The Crusher didn't work for whatever reason. The Crusher cannot destroy stones that aren't in its own universe. So it was successful, obviously, in Gamora's universe, but is not successful in this separate one. Great. Fantastic. We get a little sweeping Avengers one-shot with our Guardians of the Multiverse, which was kind of cool. But oh boy, we're on and fighting again. Ultron is now really targeting Strange because he realizes once again he's the threat and the defender of the others with the astral shields. And big fights commencing. The shields are just getting destroyed. We get a glimmer of hope, though. Black Widow is going to retrieve the arrow, once again, the USB arrow, with Arnim Zola in there. So that's the plan now. This is our last chance to hack into the system, use the AI to take down Ultron from there. So Widow and Captain Carter are going to work together to get this done. Carter's going to create the opening, and Widow will travel through and stab the USB eye into Ultron, right in the eye. So Zola has now invaded into the Ultron body, makes a play at him. Ultron has been deactivated. And then we get this motherfucker. Killmonger has finally made his final play of being an asshole. He then uses the drone head that he has been studying this whole episode and essentially absorbs the armor from Ultron along with the Infinity Stones. So now he is in possession of this armor set, of the stones, and of this power. He tries to make a play for this. This is our one chance to fix our worlds. Watcher owes us this. Why can't we make things ideal for us? And the rest of the team isn't for that. T'Challa tries talking him down. Captain Carter's obviously not part of this. So Killmonger says, you know what? All right, F you guys. And Ultron, the body, is going to come back online, but it's Zola in charge. So, attempting to reclaim the stones, we get a little bit of a force attraction battle. So it's like that big struggle between them. Strange, while this is happening, is going to realize what the objective was, or kind of remember what the objective was this entire time. They were never meant to win this battle. It was never supposed to be we were actually supposed to destroy these things or whatever. The main thing was we need to separate the stones from Ultron, from the body. So in realizing this, he's going to create, once again, one of those purple bubbles that we have seen him trap himself in to sustain himself because his universe had failed. He's going to create one of those bubbles and domes to trap the stones, to trap Killmonger, and to trap Ultron, aka Zola, in the bubble. So now they're essentially screwed. They're just in this little snow globe, trapped. So, problem solved. Our heroes are successful. Woohoo! We're going to close with Watcher and Strange talking. Strange is now going to be in charge of this. Going to be in charge of the little bubble universe and kind of sacrificing himself for taking this responsibility. Watcher thanks all the Guardians for their help and explains to them, once you walk out of this pub door, through that door, you're going to be returned right back to your universe, right pretty much at the time that we plucked you out of. So nothing would have changed. Nobody's going to realize you've been gone, etc., etc. So once we see each of them, leave the room one at a time. But we get a hesitation from Captain Carter. She doesn't really want to go back. Obviously, she misses Steve. There was a picture, I think, or a portrait of him in the bar, or in the pub, so that kind of, hit close to home. Watcher convinces her, I understand, but your universe needs a Captain Carter for a reason. So, begrudgingly, she goes. We do have one more person that does happen to stay behind, and that's Black Widow from the Ultron universe. She's kind of choose Watcher out. Like, you didn't do anything. Why did you just sit back and let this happen? We're your playthings because we just provide entertainment, essentially, for you watching all these different universes. And, Watcher explains that he can't interfere and, like, it's his oath, etc. But tells Widow that he has another opportunity for her. And essentially puts Widow in a new universe. A universe we have not yet seen in this episode, but will bring back. He's going to throw a Widow into another universe where their Widow has been eliminated, and it's the universe where Pym went on a psycho rampage and killed all the Avengers. We're going to pick up where Loki is attacking a S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier with his Asgardian army. Fury, Captain Marvel, and Captain America are trying to defend the helicarrier. Widow's going to come in, join in on this fight, and they will eventually win, taking out Loki and his army. Fury knows it's not his Natasha, which is weird that he brings that out, but he seems totally okay and fine with it. But cool to see her there, and that is a wrap on the series. So everybody kind of gets that nice little neat bow on their story. There's only one universe that really comes into play in the question mark with Killmonger. How did that work out? But other than that, every universe that is brought back, which is all of them, has that nice bow wrapped on it. And it's cool to see all the episodes essentially make their return, as we kind of predicted last episode. But wait, there's more. We finally get a post-credit scene. First post-credit scene of this series, and it's going to follow back up with Carter. We're going to the mission with Leaper, or against Leaper, was successful, and we're going to kind of learn what Leaper and his gang were taking, or what they were smuggling on their ship. And it's the Hydra Stomper. And there's someone inside it. So, we're going to cut to black, and that is going to be our cliffhanger ending for the series. Some questions to come out of it. Hydra Stomper. Obviously, Steve's in there. As they were leading up to the container, I was curious if maybe Steve was going to be the Winter Soldier. Still could be the play here. Maybe for some reason he has the armor set now with the Hydra Stomper, so maybe it will be mixing the two elements there. I don't know how that will work out. Saying we never saw Bucky dropping off the train in the first episode, similar to the original Captain America movie, leading to obviously what we see in the films. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, overall, I thought this episode was fun. A lot of action behind it. I know my synopsis doesn't really do a lot of justice for action sequences, but I thought that was fun. I think the series overall was a cool way to introduce obviously new characters or new spins on characters, but they were all relatively exciting. I think Captain Carter was a big one that we latched onto, obviously, with the first episode, and she's really intriguing. But then, surprisingly enough, the Doctor Strange redemption arc character, with him being corrupted, it kind of came into play bigger than we thought, and I thought that was exciting for him and made him an interesting and compelling character. As for returns for these characters, I don't know. I think we've talked about it before. I think season 2 is confirmed. So it's going to be interesting to see if anyone comes back. I think Carter might, because obviously we got the post-credits scene with her, so it would make sense for her to come back and kind of continue that story, as she seems to be the poster child of What If. But as for the rest, I don't know. Obviously, the Gamora and Tony universe, we got nothing. That was the only fresh new experience in this finale, in this final episode of no backstory. Killmonger's trapped, so we don't really need to follow up with there anymore, unless it's picking up where he's gone, but I don't know if they want to tie that up. Party Thor is just with, Portman, Jane Foster, so I don't know, that's already wrapped up. You got, I guess we could follow up, because we didn't get we did get the tie-in with the zombie universe of obviously the zombies making their another appearance. Jesus Christ. But we need to follow up with Peter and Ant-Man and T'Challa to figure out if they can save anything or what they can save. But yeah, other than that, I think everybody else has a finale. Anything that we kind of left open, they kind of engaged here a little bit at the beginning when they were plucking them out of their respective universes. So yeah, where do we go from here? If we do the season 2, I think it'll just be all different what if scenarios. I assume they'll have to do another big bad. Maybe it won't be the Ultron, obviously. That would be kind of weird to just recycle the thing. No mention of Kang at all in these multiverses that we're stretching out, so maybe somehow that will come into play. Maybe following up with Loki 2, like learning how the new Kang got in control, maybe that will be like the very beginning of the Kang the Conqueror, of like him eliminating multiverse after multiverse to obviously make the one, I don't remember the terminology for it, but the pure timeline or whatever it was. Maybe that's how they'll make the play for it. So yeah, I think it wrapped up nice. Was every episode super strong and like the best thing ever? No. And I think that's why this series is kind of like, it's hit or miss. I totally understand if you didn't like it. If you loved it, great. I think it's the middle of the road one. There were some ups, there were some downs. But it was still a fun experience. Yeah, so that's probably on the lower end overall, just comparing, everything. But, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Eventually something's going to hit the fan. Like, even in the films, like, a lot of people don't like the Thor movies, or at least put them on the lower side of things. It's not that we don't want those to exist or never want them to be made. It's just like, yeah, that wasn't the best. Incredible Hulk obviously comes up a lot, too. But yeah, so it is what it is. Like I said, it's going to be intriguing to see if we get a continuation with any of these characters. I think the thing that I'll be most intrigued by, with Captain Carter being poster child, once again, as far as I can tell, do we ever get a live action of any of these characters that we have seen in this universe? Obviously, the T'Challa stuff will be, rough to do. We'd have to recast, so I doubt that character would come into play. But Carter, I think, is the front runner. Like, how do you get her involved if you do bring anybody to live action? And then another one that could probably be a top contender, which we already kind of talked about being like a surprising character, was Corrupted Doctor Strange. Is that Doctor Strange going to make an appearance in Doctor Strange's film, Multiverse of Madness? I don't know. That's a tough one, because this Doctor Strange is super duper powerful. Obviously, his own universe is destroyed, but he's able to persist and keep living. And then now he's in charge of a whole pocket universe of danger with him. So it's like, but I don't know. I don't know if that character does come into play, or if it just kind of, he's this eternal being now that just protects this one little bubble. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, overall, not bad. Not bad. I'm looking forward to the future. We have Hawkeye starting on November 24th, so we'll have a little bit of a hiatus for this podcast until that starts up. But I hope you guys are looking forward to that series. I hope you guys enjoyed the What If series. I'd love to talk with some other people directly and get their opinion on it. And see, what they liked, what they didn't like, what criticisms there are. But yeah, hope you guys had a good time. It's a great day for the Hawkeye. It is. It's a very good date for that. But this has been another episode of the Marvel Plus podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011. Appreciate you guys hanging out today. If you want to catch this podcast live, you can catch it over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every Sunday, as long as there's a series going on. You can catch it over there at 7 p.m. Eastern. If there's an interlude in between series like we have coming up, we might have some bonus episodes here and there. I know the Venom movie just dropped. I still haven't seen that yet, so maybe I'll do an in-depth not in-depth, but a little review on that film similar to I did with Black Widow and Shang-Chi, even though it's not MCU tied officially as far as I know yet. But maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just have a guest on and talk some other stuff. We'll see. I'll let you guys know on the socials. But other than that, Hawkeye will be our next one. If you can't catch it live, it's A-OK. And go over to YouTube the very next day where it's posted in full at 12 noon Eastern. You can check it out over there and let us know in the comment section below what you thought of the show. Appreciate you guys hanging out for this series, giving this a watch, giving it a listen. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, hopefully Hawkeye gets you back on track with what you're looking for. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for hanging out, watching, listening, and I will see you guys on the next one.